Yo, you want to hear something crazy? This is the first time
What's
this has
up?
ever happened to me. I had a lesson
Huh.
yesterday, and the student fell asleep.
Wait, that has never happened.
I couldn't
No.
fucking believe it. I could not. I was so shocked, bro. I was like, yo. What up, guys? We're back, episode numero 3. We got 3 of these things under our belt. This is a record. We've surpassed season 1 officially, champ. We should get a cake and celebrate.
People at Evo. You know what would be nice to do this shit at Evo?
Oh, I'm so down for that. I'm not even trolling, bro.
I have an idea for a guest next like in the next not next week. I guess next week.
Okay.
To talk about.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have a big fan. We have a couple of big fans of our podcast. If you've seen the comments on Twitter, some of your homies,
Oh.
some legendary peoples. Justin loves our shit. He keeps laughing at our clips.
I mean, brother, that's my big bro, brother. Justin Wong is just a goat. Okay, so like he's always been very supportive. You know, I love Justin.
Yeah, you know I'm not surprised.
There's never been a video he released that I didn't watch. By the way.
Damn.
Shit, I love Justin. Yeah, that's like easily like the person that I like watched when I wanted to get into fighting games. You know, so I watch a lot of Justin Wong videos. Yes.
Wow. All right. So, guys, we got ourselves a pretty fun stream today. There's nothing really going on too much in like the fighting game world because it's that weird like dead zone of like Evo Japan's coming up a couple days, and then like we're waiting for the patch, and you know like people there's nothing really going on right now, right? Season hasn't started for Street Fighter. You know, Fatal Fury came out, but obviously there hasn't been a big event for that either. The next big event is going to be Evo Japan this weekend, and then after that's going to be Combo Breaker in Chicago. So this week I had to come up with some stuff. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we get to know both me and Champ a little bit more? So we got some pretty cool topics that we're going to talk about. As you can see in between, we're going to be talking about our all-time favorite characters, stages, players, lessons, and then, you know, we conclude with the book of the week and our Q&As. All right, cool beans. Hope you guys are chilling, having a good time.
I did not want to read these questions when you send it to me because I want it to be improv on this. Yeah.
I know you have like crazy memory, so when you fucking hear me say something, you're not gonna forget.
Yeah, I know, but like looking at it, I don't want to like process an answer. I wanted the answer to be natural. You know. Okay. Yeah. So I think the only thing that I probably like prepare for, rehearse. Or like not rehearse, but like plan or organize is probably like my coaching. That's it. Because that one you can't do improv on that one.
Yeah. Yo, you want to hear something crazy? This is the first time this has ever happened to me. I had a lesson yesterday, and the student fell asleep.
Wait, that has never happened.
I couldn't fucking believe it. I could not. I was so shocked, bro. I was like, yo.
I think if that ever happened, mind you, like if that ever happened, I kick that player out of my roster of people I'm coaching. I swear, I just kick him out. I swear. I can't. Like I don't care. Like I don't care. I can literally just be like do this and just pick whoever I would want to add into the people I'm coaching because that amount of inquiries I get. But like if I get like a person who fell asleep, I mean, first of all, that would be that I could sort of look at that as my blame as well. Like the fact that I didn't ask the person, are you okay? Are you not tired? Because like if the player is like really, really tired or feel like needs to sleep, I would just move the session to the most optimal time for that person, you know, not like to rush it or like feel like, yeah, it's a session. I care about the session. I care about if the person is going to learn, you know, kind of. But with your case, that's different, right? You know, so what happened?
So I didn't get in contact with him for a couple hours, and then he hit me up, and I figured like it was like he had to be tired. Like I'm like, yo, if you're there's no way you're gonna do that on purpose, right? So I was like, it has to be he was like super exhausted and trying to fight through it. And he told me he woke up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and then after work he You know what I'm saying? I was
Reskin.
like, yeah, I was like, yo, you gotta let me know that. You know,
Yeah,
so that
reskin.
way,
Yes.
you
Not
know,
reskin for sure.
yeah.
No shot that is like that. No, fuck that.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna redo the lesson. I'm gonna just start it at exactly where I stopped.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna just continue on.
Oh,
Because he
you
has
know
multiple
what?
lessons with me.
There was that one weird scenario though, my coaching that's weird
Okay.
that I had. Okay, this one was because I usually interview the person before I kind of like consider coaching them, and then you say this person is like, oh yeah, this one's pretty good interview. So it's like, okay, you know what? Okay, I can coach you, whatever, right? So this happens, and I heard like, once we started doing the session, I heard that he was drinking something.
Okay.
I heard it, whatever. It could be anything, and then he was burping, right? And then so I had like doing this, like that, doing that, and then drinking and stuff. So I had like I'm not like an expert when it comes to drinking alcohol, but like I can sort of feel based on how he sounds that he was drinking alcohol for whatever kind of it, right? So I was like, okay, I can't just like, damn, Hugh, are you drinking? Because he might start lying, right? So I decided to say something where, dude, what's your favorite beer? Because my favorite beer is definitely Corona. Like I say, I have to just say volunteer information, you know? It's kind of like that, right? Mind you, I don't really care about beer, but like I have to just say that. It's like, oh, bro, I drink Bud Light. I do. As a matter of fact, I'm drinking Bud Light right now. Like, dude, how many bottles can you drink before you can get drunk? You know, whatever, right? It's like, oh, I can drink like maybe 7 or maybe 8. Maybe I'm done already. It's like, how many bottles are you in? Oh, this is my 3rd one. At the moment he said that, okay, this is like, all right, our session is over. I'm not like, yeah, you're out. Because like I only want to work with people that's actually a little bit more. I don't need you to be pro level of professionalism, but at least not at least like if I prepare a lesson plan, I kind of expect that the person should not be drinking. Do you understand? Like I feel like that's not good. So that since then I kind of like revamp my interviews before I think about coaching somebody. You know, it's just like that was insane. Like it was drinking, like bro, yeah.
I would be so pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. The falling asleep thing is like that's I don't get mad at that, but oh, that is fucking that's insane.
Yeah, that only happened once though. But I coach a lot of people, so like throughout the years. So the fact that it only happened once is pretty cool, you know.
All right, so let's boogie, champ. So champ, you know, people love your magnanimous personality. So many people have been just showering me with how amazing you are and how hilarious you are. And you know, I decided we need to explore a little bit more of Champ. Okay, we need to figure out how does
hate this topic. If it's me, okay, go ahead.
What about Champ can we like figure out and just learn so we can appreciate you a lot more? You know what I'm saying? So I know people think you're like a fiery, you know, the villain. Right, but
that's before. I mean, this is back before, but I don't know like that. I don't think people think that anymore about me.
I do.
Yeah, sure.
I do slightly on certain topics, but I want to figure out some key things about you as a player. So we're gonna go through these topics, and of course, I'm going to answer them also because I know Champ doesn't want to be the only one talking. Right? That's not how this thing works.
You need to answer it too. Yes.
Right. So we're gonna begin with the all-time favorites. Okay, this is gonna be a pretty beefy discussion.
Ooh.
Favorites. All-time favorites. So we're gonna go through each of these categories. Nice casual conversation, and we are going to begin with Champ.
Yes, sir.
Your all-time favorite characters.
Top 3.
Any game.
The top 3. I guess like obviously it would be crazy if I don't say Dawson, right? But then, okay, let's just put it this way. I guess I have to say Dawson. Sure, it's Dawson, but
do you want to?
I have to because there's no other way to describe it. So like, I don't care if it's Dalsum, but I like the dynamic playstyle of that character. So it could have been they could have aesthetically changed him or like change his. Like imagine if Dalsum became a grappler. I would not want to pick Dalsum, right? For instance, like that, right? I don't also want to have the super zoner as well, but I kind of want a dynamic character in a sense. Stick closer to like a more dynamic fighting game because like Street Fighter is not more dynamic, it's more static kind of fighting game. So like when I play Dalsum, he doesn't play like a very static like decision making. He's usually like floating. flying, fucking footsies. You could do that. You could zone. You could fireball. You could attack. You could do that. Kind of like that. I want that kind of like playstyle, very open. So sure, I'd say Dalsum. Cool. And then the rest would be like Dormammu. I have to also say him because they made him for me. I swear. But so I'm very grateful for that. So I love that they made Dormammu, but Dormammu, then Dalsum, but then also the all-time favorite character number 1 is Magneto, like the rushdown character, you know. So that's maybe my top 3 for sure.
Magneto.
But yeah, but Magneto is for sure purely. It doesn't matter what archetype you put in. I will always pick Magneto. Yeah.
So you must have been so heartbroken when he wasn't in Infinite. Don't tell me Ultron was like
how
him,
was
bro.
my feeling in this one? I knew that they weren't gonna have any X-Men, so I wasn't as heartbroken on that one. But then they added some functions that plays like Magneto, but doesn't really. But I get it. So they added like Captain Marvel and Ultron to play like sort of Magneto, but not necessarily. But yeah. So I wasn't like as sad, you know, for not having Magneto. I was sad for not having any X-Men characters that's like in that game. So.
Okay. All right. So basically, Dalsum, Dormammu, Magneto. That's pretty dope.
Yes.
I think all 3 of those characters, if somebody has followed your journey, they immediately think of those 3 characters. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
My Magneto's lame. I think my Magneto's complete. Because like I will attack you, I can lame you out, I can play footsies, my Magneto's complete. I don't just maul or just zone. Right? Like so it has to be complete. Because like I never believe in one kind of playstyle. Because that's never been successful in fighting games, I think. I mean, no, not I think for sure. Like you need to be dynamic. You need to have multiple levels of way to play a character. You can't just be one. Like I never believe in like one. Like I never believe when people would say you're supposed to play this character this way. I never believe that shit. It's like, yeah, right. Who said you? Who told you that? Like, are you an expert? Like, no, that's not the case. Because if that was the case, you see, remember Infiltration's Akuma and Takedo's Akuma? Do you remember the difference? Right? Two different styles, right?
Right.
But imagine if there was only one way to play the character. You wouldn't see that. Okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? You see Reinhardt Sagat versus Bonchan Sagat, Sanford Sagat, right? They're all different ways to play, right? So that means you could play the character multiple different ways. You see Nakodu's Guile, Cobb's Guile, right? Like, you know, Higuchi's Guile, right? You know, so there's many ways to play the game. So I never just want to be like one way, you know? So I want to be multiple because that's what it takes. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were super dynamic. I didn't understand Marvel, so it all looked crazy to me. But definitely in 4, Street Fighter 4 when I'd watch you a lot. In 5 when you were playing 5 also. You had those modes.
Did somebody call my Magneto slow? You gotta be Flash. If you actually think my Magneto was slow, you're blind.
Because your Magneto was like
crazy.
this, like
why your Magneto was the fastest? That shit will be insane.
Yeah, I couldn't watch
imagine
your
they call my Magneto slow.
Bro, if I watch your Magneto, I'd get epilepsy. I have to close my eyes.
That shit is crazy. Imagine somebody called my Magneto slow. Like, okay, all right, okay, go ahead. So what are you saying? That's extremely to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe they're just trying to troll or something. I don't know.
For sure.
For me, my top 3 all time, all Street Fighter. Well, actually, no, they're not all Street Fighter characters. My number 1 favorite fighting game character of all time is not a Street Fighter character.
Okay, what is it?
It is Johnny from Guilty Gear.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So the reason is my favorite comic book character.
Did you play Guilty Gear first?
No, I didn't. Yeah, my favorite comic book character is Gambit, and he kind of fight. He looks like him, and he fights like like him. You know, like whatever. So I was like, oh wow. And then when I played him in Xrd, I was like, this character's fucking amazing. So that's my number 1. My number 2 is Jamie. I love Jamie. Jamie is amazing. Because if you guys know me, I love hip hop. I love breakdancing. Right? Bro.
Wait, what?
Bro, I'm being vulnerable. I'm opening up to you. You're making
You really like Jamie like that?
You look like you ate like a gallon of Sour Patch Kids.
How could you like Jamie like that?
No,
I thought you would
don't
say
like
like
him. I love
Fei
him.
Long.
That's my no.
I thought you would say Sagat.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's my favorite.
Jamie?
Yes, he's my favorite.
Okay, let me just call you out on it. How come you didn't play him first then? How come you played Dawson when the game first came out?
I played him in the beta, and I played him when the game first came out, and then I was learning Dawson at the same time as playing him. But then I went full-time sim.
How come you entered CPT tournaments, you didn't play Jamie? You played Dawson.
Because why was that? Because I had to commit to sim because sim was way more intricate. I didn't know how to play sim, so I had to commit to him. But then I went back to him.
That is intricate too. Jamie's intricate too because you got to drink, right? But what happened to that one?
I mean, I wanted to learn sim. So my actual intention was to learn like 2 or 3 characters. It was like Jamie, Dawson, and a third or whatever. And it was gonna be either JP or some shit. But Dawson felt like the most complex out of the 3, so I was like, let me focus on him. And then you know, if Jamie develops, I'll just easily pick him up. But
easily pick him up. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
You know, but he didn't. And then everybody was developing JP, and then there weren't many sims, so I was like, let me just keep developing sim. And then I realized, oh shit, this character's not good. And at that point, it was like fucking too late into the season. You know?
Fair. Okay. Okay, next one.
Yeah, so that's why. And then my third would be Sagat for sure. Yeah, he takes it over Fei Long, because Fei Long, I love Bruce Lee, but I haven't had faith in Street Fighter 4, man. It's been fucking 10 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, I haven't been through the battles with him, so he's kind of not really.
I guess if it's a Street Fighter character, Sagat would be there with my favorites. So it would be like a Dawson Sagat, kind of like that. That would be like the, and then Seth. That would be like the characters I like. Cool. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say Sagat, Jamie, and then Fei would be my 3 if it was just pure Street Fighter. But, but that's what I would say. Okay. All right. Now next. So some of these topics are not gonna be here, but you know, these are just like the general stuff, right? Okay. All right. So favorite stages. Your 3 favorite stages. Yes, your 3 favorite fighting game stages.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't necessarily pay attention to the music of the game, let alone the stage. I care about the spacing that you're at. I don't care about the background. So to me, it could be training mode, it could be Bone Wonderland, it could be anything. I don't care. The only time I would care about stage, if my opponent that I don't like, for instance, has a stage preference, then I will go fight for it. Just out of spite. But I don't care. If my opponent said, oh no, I don't mind what stage, okay, then cool. You know? Like that, whatever. But if my opponent prefers a stage that maybe he can see better or whatever the fuck, okay, I'm gonna argue that. Yeah, for sure. But like to me, I don't care about stage.
You don't have a favorite Marvel stage?
No, I mean the only reason why Bone Wonderland was popular in Marvel because that was the stage that was the brightest. And then it became kind of like a thing that people, that's like what you're just gonna pick, right? Because I don't know if there's some lag to other stage, but I don't care. Because like in our house, like when we used to play fucking like in the FGC days, like I'm picking the Asgard, I'm picking the the airspace, I'm picking all the, I don't care because it's a training stage, you know. But like I don't have a preference about the stage, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. If you actually notice, like the tournament that I played Daigo back then, like in FCR, I even picked the volcano stage.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that at all. You know what I'm saying? If Daigo mind that, I'm gonna do I'm not gonna win the flip a coin part because if he called the referee is gonna go on his knees and suck his dicks, right? So I'm never gonna get that, that referee like on my side. No. I want the other stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then and then they're gonna like, oh yeah. So I'm never gonna argue that one. But yeah,
that's funny. Okay, so I have 3. Overpass is not my number 1. It's my top 3. My number 1 is the boat stage.
That's a good one.
See, okay, so you do have stages you like, motherfucker.
I said that's a good one, but I did say I have a stage that I like, but it's not like one of my all-time favorites. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't prefer anything. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a good stage. Yeah.
Okay. So what stage do you like then? Because I want to go back to that. Like 3 stages you like that you like. You're more likely to choose.
I always pick like, let's say the Dawson stage. So I feel like it's home court.
Yeah, that is a nice stage.
Like I will pick the Dawson stage because it's home court because I want you to feel that this is my home court, baby. Doesn't matter where you're at. Kind of like that feel.
I love that stage.
that does. But after that, I don't really have a preference to that. But I remember a lot of stages. But let's just say, let's put it this way: I like a lot of stages. I don't hate a lot of stages, right?
Yeah.
So we can keep going with what stage I like. But at the end of the day, like I don't really mind.
Okay.
When it comes to stage, yeah.
Okay, so for me, it's the mist boat stage. So you remember how there was 2 boat stages on 4? It was the sunset one, and then there was the cool gray one. Don't remember that? There was like the boat stage. It's like the sunset's in the background. Justin plays on it a lot.
Is that the one with the Blanca, the one in the jungle?
No. In Street Fighter 4, it's the one where it's like an orangey, like it's like an orange sunset in the back, or it's like cool gray. It's the same stage twice, but it's like different.
I see.
Yeah, so
I know what you mean.
I love the cool, like the mist stage, and then the overpass is 2, and then 3 is the Sagat stage in 5. That stage is fucking beautiful.
Oh, that was fire.
That stage
the Sagat stage is fire.
Mwah! Can't wait to see that shit in 6.
I mean, if you want to talk about a nice stage, the Evo stage for Street Fighter 5 was pretty cool. I think the stadium.
Which one? Did they have a couple?
They had the very first one. The very first one, the Evo stage.
Oh, okay.
When it's like a blue everything. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that was unique. I think that's like something that's missing in Street Fighter 6 right now, is that our stages are getting drier, But like, yeah, to me, I don't really mind.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
How about, okay, so I know
Hey, Saba, hello.
neither of us really know or care about themes, right? So theme songs or anything like that.
I don't care about theme songs at all.
I don't know. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so let's talk about favorite players, and now let's split it into eras. So we'll do like up until Street Fighter 4, so this can be Third Strike, 2, whatever, MVC 2, anything like that, and then we'll do Street Fighter 5 era and afterwards.
Sure.
Your top 3 favorite players each era.
Okay, for both era, for any era. Okay, for each era,
Yep.
I guess. So from like the Street Fighter 5 and down era, right? Like
No,
Street Fighter 4, I guess.
Yeah, 4 is down, and then 5 and 6
4
are
and
together.
down. Yeah. So it will always be Justin Wong.
Mm-hmm.
I know my answers are gonna be boring for this one, but like always like, so Justin Wong has inspired me a lot. He's the player that I kind of like watch a lot getting into fighting games. I have learned so much from him, even in esports as well. He's such a big brother to me. We gotten close to Justin throughout the years. So it always be Justin Wong. I think it would be Alex Valle and John Choi, because those two kind of like are my mentors. Like getting into fighting games. So they were like really good to like to teach me things in fighting games. So when I was like, and they consistently like answered my annoying, never-ending questions about and like having like conversations where I think imagine telling this to those guys who's like super accomplished, like multiple time champions like John Choi and Alex Valle would be like, I think that's wrong. Like, it's just saying whatever they're telling me, I think that's wrong. I don't think that's correct. I think there's ways you could do this better, like kind of like that. Yeah. So I think that they kind of encourage my mind to be open, to be more progressive when it comes to the fighting games. Like, I'm not locked into one thing, because like my fighting games are that's really nice. I like fighting games because there's many ways to be good, so I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, so those 3. But if you're the modern one, it's gonna be boring answers also, because like I would always pick Punk, Mena, and Du.
Oh, but Du's a 4-player though.
But Nakodu came in for a little bit not on the first season. He came in the Street Fighter 4 usually like 2014. SF4 came in
2012.
2013, 14.
He was at CEO 2012. That's where I met him.
Actually, you know what? I met him in 2000. But he was still a baby there, brother.
Yeah, true. But I mean...
Yeah, but I consider Nakodu like 5 in the middle. But like, I will pick Nakodu, Punk, and Mena are my favorites for
Dude
sure.
would be offended by that. Dude's going to be like, I'm a 09er. Fuck you.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So for me, Street Fighter 4 era, that mix, it's Daigo, just because he's just the philosophy. Like, just when I came across I forgot what interview it was, but I was watching some random YouTube interview, and it was like a 240p, bro. You could barely see what the fuck the dude's face looked like, but he was just saying some shit, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know fighting games could get this deep. Like, I know they're deep in terms of like mind games, but just in terms of like applying human philosophy, like fundamentals, you know, that's when I was like, oh shit, this is incredible. So Daigo for that, and then of course, you know, seeing the parry moment like everybody has, that's what really got me to just, you know, yeah. So I'd say Daigo, and then damn. See, I can't break character because we're supposed to be like rivals, but you are in my top 3 all time. I fucking don't want to say this because we're supposed to be rivals.
We're rivals. We're teammates. No, what are we talking about?
On this podcast, we are like this.
Hey, here we go. What's up, brother?
We're like this. Okay. Outside of this, outside of this, I love you though. Okay, but you because I remember what was it? Was it Excellent Adventures? It was something you talking about strategy. I don't remember what it was, but
it's gotta be Excellent Adventures.
Probably.
With Mike Cross and Kutex.
I never understood strategy until I heard what you like. I still didn't understand when you said it, but it kind of put me in the right direction. And then I started paying attention to like the scope of things. Because the way I usually learn is I focus on the details and I would miss the forest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that helped me a lot with learning how to zoom out and see the big picture of things. And I was like, oh shit, this is why I'm not understanding what the fuck is happening when I'm playing you know, higher level players.
You know, the way that strategy actually like started to come into my game is like I was trying to become more efficient at playing because I was trying to play like I'm still playing. I'm maining Marvel during this time. I'm playing obviously Street Fighter, and then I'm playing like I'm entering like Mortal Kombat. I even entered like Killer Instinct, Cross Tekken, and all the other games. So like entering those games, and then you don't have time to practice those because you're only playing Street Fighter 4 or Marvel, right? And the rest your practice is just really entering those tournaments, right? Like so you just like having like a strategy that you would just follow a template made it more efficient. Like, okay, I'm just gonna follow this. I think this and this. And then because your tech is so behind compared to like people that's maining those games. So it's like so like I developed strategy a lot better the moment I started playing multiple fighting games because it's kind of more needed compared to like if I'm playing like Street Fighter or Marvel during this time, like my strategy is a little bit more complex and in depth in a way that I have different templates that I can use at the start, right? Because it's prepared for already, and then I would know all the branches. But then when I play the other games that you have very little time to play because of you're really busy. Then you're just having like kind of like a cheat code in a way where you're just gonna follow some list of things that I'm just gonna do this and then that like that. It made it a lot easier to play those other games as well in a sense. Yeah.
And so another thing too is I'm a very like hard on my sleeve type of person. I don't like bullshitting, and to see you being yourself all the time was dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And just living authentically, that shit is dope as fuck, right? So that's something that I learned is like not everybody's gonna like you, so you might as well like yourself, you know?
Oh my god, Mike Cross and Gutex told me that. He said, bro, look, it doesn't matter like who if they like you or they hate you, as long as the people that knows you, that your friends or family, the people that actually care about you knows who you truly are. You know, that's the only thing that matters. It's like, so it doesn't matter. It's like, well, I don't really care what they think about me because I only care about the people that actually knows me, you know? So that's when we all have all these personas, you know, see like Mike Ross persona is like super extra competitive, popping off for no reason, but like on the positive side, like really, really like hero, you know, mode, right? And then you got me like a super villain, then you got like Gutex is just like a producer, but like people kind of like Gutex for hosting all these things as well. So kind of developing these personas was pretty cool. And Combo Fiend was just like the killer, you know, like that's like really not that don't really show a lot of like emotions in general, except for like you talk to him in an interview, you know, or like you know him in real life, whatever. But in a tournament, you were just gonna feel Combo Fiend's gameplay in your screens, right? Kind of like that. So so to kind of stand out.
He was a killer Combo Fiend before he became like this like producer
still
or whatever.
Killer for sure. Yeah, for sure. That dude is truly born to play fighting games. Like he's like one of my very first training partners as well. Like he has pushed me so much. Like remember, we used to visit Combo Fiend's house, and we used to go visit Combo Fiend in LA, and we used to play Marvel and Street Fighter with my Cross because they're like my teammates and cross counter. And what's crazy is we used to, because in complexity, it was like me, my Cross, Combo Fiend, and Gutex, right? Gutex is kind of like the manager, producer, right? And then so there's 3 players, for instance. We used to play for the captain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who the captain was back then. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, who used to be the captain. So we would run sets. Like, who's the captain? Who making real decisions?
Oh, shit.
Kind of like that. Like that. So, yeah, so it's really competitive between the 3 of us before, you know? Yeah.
Having a partner like
cool.
that is so important, man.
It's really good, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it alone.
Yes, and there was no ego. It was just all competitive stuff. You know, we never like, we would talk shit, dude. I will bust your balls, brother. I will kill you right now, like that. But at the end of the day, there was no like ego when it comes like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna play with you. Yada yada. No, it's everything like, what do you think I could have done, dude? I feel like you just mashed too much there. Like, you know, back then, you know, it was like, it's really, really good relationships that you have with these players that it's really nice to just talk about the game and talk about what you can do to improve in these areas, you know? So it's really nice. And the way that I was welcomed by the OGs of that time, like I knew that in the next generation that's going to come after me, I also need to be just as welcoming and just as supportive of the next generation. So I've always been supportive of the next gen every time, you know? Because like the OGs before me was super supportive of me as well. So, you know, you got to pass it forward.
Dope.
Yeah.
So my third is Sako, because Sako was the player that inspired me to be as creative as possible. So like that's
that dude's creative,
bro. When it comes to like coming up with solutions to the weirdest shit, that was my favorite player to watch, man.
Wait, what do you mean solutions to what?
So like it could be super niche things about characters. So perfect example. You know, remember how Adon's stand heavy kick hit twice? Sako punished GamerBee's stand heavy kick with focus dash ultra 1 with Habuki.
Oh damn, that's tight as hell. That's a preemptive focus dash forward.
I was like, this is so sick. That's the shit I love, man. It's like if you see that, you're like, what? You know those animes when like fucking characters
that's
are
pretty
beefing?
Insane. That was big back then too.
Yeah, you know, like the characters are going crazy, and then all the NPC characters are watching in amazement, like, oh my god, like that's how I felt. I was like, this shit is incredible. I want people to feel like this when they watch me play. So yeah, Daigo for the philosophy, you for the strategy, Sako for the creativity. Those are top 3.
Like, you know what? When during that time when Infiltration was doing focus dash forward to punish Daigo's fireballs. Like before was actually insane during this time, because like he was playing Akuma obviously, so it would stay in this range when Daigo would throw his fast fireballs, right? Hadouken, whatever, and then he would do preemptive focus dash forward and then punish your crouching jab and Tatsu and knockdown, kind of like that, right, in that range. And I was like, damn, that's so insane that he was doing that to Daigo, you know. And then Daigo kind of like adjusted that and just started throwing light fireballs instead. So he doesn't have enough frame advantage to dash forward and punish it. It was like, damn, but just the evolution of just the fireball in that range where they were playing the footsies and they would do fireball, and then the Infiltration would do does not want to deal with Daigo's fireball game with Akuma. He, instead of just neutral jumping fireballs, you know, he's just gonna do focus dash forward punish consistently and just jump around, and doesn't really want to play the fireball game with Daigo, and accepting that Daigo is better than him in this particular attribute. Like, and then just try to kill Daigo in other areas that he feel like he has a better shot was remarkable to see that for Infiltration. So I was like, that's when I saw like, damn, he actually accept that Daigo's fireball game is better than his, so he's gonna minimize the amount of interactions from this fireballs. So I'm gonna play you in all the other areas of the game except for this area. It's kind of like how like people like, you know, like play against Punk, you know, they try to minimize the footsies as much as they could, you know. But sure, they still deal with him there, but not as much, right?
Right.
Yeah. They just accept that area and then just try to win in the other areas of the game, which is actually pretty remarkable to see. Yeah.
So for me, the new generation, it would be Angry Bird. I could watch Angry Bird all day. I
love those guys.
man.
The Birds for sure. I love those guys.
That is easily my favorite new gen player. It's I just I can watch.
They're
them
not
all
new
day.
gen, by the way.
He's not. He's definitely from.
They've been around since
4, yeah.
2016. Even like I met them 2017, bro. When I met Punk, I met the Birds as well.
Yeah, and Big Bird
So,
competed in 4. He actually beat Cien in a tournament
nice.
in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it's not new gen for sure.
Yeah, but Angry Bird didn't travel at that time. He traveled in 5.
Brother, I met him in France, so he was traveling for sure.
In Street Fighter 5.
Angry Bird is so nice.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5.
That's what we say is
2017,
the
I
new
met him
gen.
there.
That's what we say is the new gen, right? We agreed. Yeah,
Okay,
so that's why I say that.
Yes, it's new gen in that sense, yes.
But
Angry Bird for sure not. Yeah. I mean, Big
Bird's not.
definitely
Yeah, Big Bird's not. But Angry Bird, I don't think he traveled until 5. So that's why I put him in that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? So I will put Angry Bird number 1. Just his intensity, like you can feel his presence all over the screen. That shit is so dope. Like when he plays, it's just so sick. Like
yeah, it's nice.
I really love that. I love that. And and he's super optimal. He is like every single hit he is converting. Like
he was ahead.
Yeah, he was just and then of course like developing the meta and of 6. And he was incredible, man. I remember watching you guys play. Remember you guys playing, bro? Oh my god.
Bro, can I tell you a story about that guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
About the Birds. So like this is like a very first Evo for Street Fighter 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, oh yeah, I'm almost there. I'm about to get to the hotel, and I'm just put my bags in the room, right? So he was like, bro, come to our room right now. Mind you, I just literally just landed, and now
that's what he
want me to
like
go
too.
straight to the room. So I was like, sure, okay. So I go there, and they're just playing. So it was just like me, Phenom, the Birds, Becky is there, and one of their friends from UAE was there as well. But during this time, like obviously the game has only been out for like 7 weeks or 8 weeks during, so kind of like just so new. And this time they were so ahead. They were doing driver's jabs already. You understand? Like they were so ahead, and then their parries. Like there was one situation. This is a 2-month-old game, okay? You understand? So it's like everything is like right now. Sure, you're gonna say, "Oh, that's super basic," but I'm talking like that moment. That shit was so ahead. They're doing driver's jabs already, and then when Angry Bird's about to get burnt out by my fireball, and so I did a fireball meaty. And then he blocked it, and he has a little bit left, and he threw another fireball. So if he does another parry, doesn't matter. He needs to get a perfect parry instead, or else it will burn out, right? He perfect parry there. So instead of like trying to avoid it by the jump or something, I was like, you really went for that there? You know what I mean? So I was like, thinking, damn, how much you guys are ahead for the rest of the field during that time was amazing. So you could ask them this. I told them, you're gonna win Evo. One of you guys gonna win Evo. You could ask them that.
Wow.
They would attest to this. In the room, I said, you guys are so ahead. You guys gonna win. One of you guys are gonna win Evo. And you know what they told me? Our problem is the first to 2. If we can get the first to 3, we could definitely win Evo. Like that's how he said we. Do you understand? Not like only one of them cats. He said if we can get the first to 3, we could win Evo. And that's what happened. He got the first to 3 and won Evo, Yep. It's like, but during that time, it was like he was so, those two were so ahead, Alongside with obviously Mena and Punk, and Do at that time, it was like so insane how ahead they were. The driver's jabs, like people couldn't even stop Luke in general there just because of Luke, remember like Luke's drivers, they were just drivers 2 MP, right?
Yeah.
All the time, it doesn't do driver's jab compared to Angry Bird and stuff. And Angry Bird was doing driver's jab to kind of like control spacing, driver's jab, just whiff in that area to see what you're doing, And they're like so ahead during that time. It's amazing. So optimal.
Yeah, he is the pioneer. That is by far my favorite new gen. It's not even fucking close.
Yeah, sure.
After that, I'd say Mena, because just the story, his path. Just like he just represents human triumph, in my opinion, just to come from where he came from. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And him not knowing if he's gonna eat that day, and like just that type of a background, and being able to just become who he became is super inspiring. And you want to hear a fucking crazy story about me and Mena? Listen to this shit. 2014, my first Evo, right? I wanted to go to Evo, but this young kid fucking broke, whatever, right?
Yeah, sure.
I have a donation drive. My first time ever having one. Okay, so Catch this shit. Random kid messages me on Facebook. Goes, hey, if I donate $50, are you gonna win Evo? I said, of course. What the fuck? Kid donates $50. Okay. Wait. It gets better. It gets fucking better, bro.
That's so sweet.
Fast forward.
Yes.
Fast. Phew. 2017. Final round, I believe. Right? Sitting in the room. Man, I was there. I finally meet him. And we're chatting. And he just looks at me and goes, yo, you know we met already, right? I was like,
oh my god, I have the similar story. Go ahead.
I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck you mean we met already? He's like, you don't remember? I messaged you. I donated to your Evo fund. I was like, shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah. I was like, yo, I literally went on Facebook because we already were talking on Facebook, right? I scrolled like I was like, and then I was like, oh my god, you're the same fucking person.
That's insane. No. He did that same to me. He did the same exact thing. Damn near almost, I guess. Like, so, you know, obviously we call each other, talk about the game, you know, etc. You know, whatever we want to work on together, whatever it could be, right? It's Street Fighter 6, right? Work on like tech, whatever it could be, right? And then he told me, Champ, do you know I used to message you in Facebook? Huh? It's like, no. It's like, are we even friends on Facebook? Yeah. I said, I don't know. I don't remember. But first of all, I rarely use social media. So let alone sometimes if somebody messages you in Facebook, right, it goes to message request, you know? Right. You know, so it's like, so I'm not even sure. But like, I'm not sure. Dude, this dude had messages when he was 13, bro. Messaging me. And I was like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy how he came full circle, you know? And now we're in the same call talking about the game, what we can do better in different spots. It's actually remarkable to see that. Like, I was like, bro, I didn't even know. I said, like, first of all, I did not mean to ignore you. I just never even seen the message, right? It's just there, see, unread, right? Like in general, because like, if I, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you open your social media, you're gonna get like fucking so many messages of like different people that sometimes you don't even get to click who is who, right? Yep. So yeah, it was crazy to me when that happened. Yeah.
That shit is so funny. Isn't that funny? So Mena is basically the Facebook bandit. That's how he creeps up on people.
Yeah. And who the fuck uses Facebook during that time?
Bro, that's so funny.
Who the fuck uses Facebook, you know?
Oh, man. Okay. So yeah, I'd say that. And then the third for like the new era would probably be, I really like Kawano. Kawano's very robotic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the more... Yeah, the more a player is new school in Japan, the more technical they are, or the more robotic they are, the less intuitive. I mean, the less like intuition they use, I guess. Yeah, the more like prepared they are in general, you know, because like that's kind of like the Japan style, anyways. But that's like the more modern way for them to play. Yeah. Mostly Japanese players are like that, you know. Yeah, I
like this Colleen in 5 too, and then I really started paying attention to him. Like I was like, okay, and then in 6, was following him, and then once he got Akuma in his hands, that's when like I was like, okay, I really like watching this dude play now. So that would be my top 3 of the new era for sure.
For sure.
Okay, next one. All right, this is gonna be a good one. Your top 3 most important or favorite lessons you've ever had.
Okay, I don't necessarily have a top 3, but I have a couple of them. But like the best one is this. When I was like learning Street Fighter 4, and then I sort of understand it already, and then I got an invite to play with Ricky Ortiz and John Choi. So remind you, those guys are fighting game legends during this time, and then they always whoop my ass. You know, it was like a realization where it's like I was winning weeklies in my region, which is a tough region because it's NorCal, it's Street Fighter town. And those guys, John Choi and Ricky Ortiz, they don't enter those, right? They don't, because they're just, you know, they're multiple champions already. And they played with me and they invited me to come over, and then they just whooped my ass for like many, many days, whatever, right? In a row. And then for some reason I was stuck in like thinking like, I don't even know how am I going to get better at this situation. Like they're just so much more better. And then, but I'm super studious during this time. I was like paying attention to all the frames, what's happening to this. And then the advice that John gave me was, we use too much math. You gotta use more heart, and that's how you win. Is you need to have math, and then you need to use your heart. So it's like, because if you're using a lot of math, what happens is all your decisions will come to like, okay, at this frame you're supposed to only do this or that, right? And then now they will break the cycle by doing something like crazy. Let's say, for instance, like a -3 and then GP, kind of like this. Just like simplify that scenario, right? For instance, like they did a minus dive kick, and then I wanted to do a light kick instead. You should take my turn, but Rufus jump is like really fast. So if I do crouching light kick, that would be a 5-framer or whatever, and Rufus be able to jump already. So I have to do back light kick instead or jab, right? But like John was like telling me, like, if you know they're gonna do that, just do back roundhouse instead. Like so I learned how to do the greedy take turns and all that stuff from them. Like, because you use more heart instead of, instead of brain, right? You use more heart instead of math. So that's like really important. And the moment I learned that from them, and I started looking for new situations, from other players, that how they played when they mix heart and also logic, and that's how they win. And for some reason, when I got to play with Alex Valle, and then they were teaching me all this stuff about there's even like other voodoo magic stuff, which is like how to control your opponent. Which I would tell you after this. Like once I learned this situation, I won a bunch of tournaments. I even won a beat Daigo, etc. because of that point, because I used heart with logic, right? And then like there's like one thing that they told me before was super crazy. This is like it also works now. Okay, for instance, it also works. It could just do it. It works quite like 90%. So imagine you're playing in mid range against somebody in Street Fighter 6, any fighting game, to be honest, and then you neutral jump, right? You neutral jump. You just neutral jump. You neutral jump a couple times. You just neutral one time, whatever. Okay, so do not jump after that. Okay, during that, like in the next 10 seconds, do not jump to your opponent. If you showed your opponent that you neutral jump a couple times or once, whatever, and that's mid range, do not jump towards. And then I asked why, and then they said because you just reminded your opponent about jumping, because you neutral jump, then like, oh wow, you jump.
Oh wow.
Okay, do you understand? So now you're reminding your opponent that you might jump. Doesn't mean that you like to jump, that you might jump. So your opponent now is more aware. So what does that happen? So what do you do now to take advantage of that one? So because now if the opponent is waiting for you to jump, that means he's not doing too much in the ground, right? He's doing only things that non-committing. So now if you neutral jump a couple times, neutral jump one time, and then you start throwing many fireballs. Neutral jump, many fireballs. Neutral jump, greedy. So that's why you neutral jump, and then I start doing more greedier stuff. Greedy, because I know my opponent will not jump because it's waiting for me to jump. You see? And then now you do a lot of greedy stuff to your opponent.
Wow.
Let's say you do heavy fireball after you neutral jump, right? Now your opponent now is like, damn, he didn't jump, but he threw a bunch of fireballs. Now your opponent, for some reason, he's gonna get this message that maybe I need to jump. And now you now wait for them to jump, and they will jump, and then you kill them.
Right.
So now you pay attention to Daigo and Alex Valle, Judge, playing their fireball game. You see them neutral jumping. That's one of the reasons. It's actually crazy. It's called voodoo magic, brother.
That is actually really good shit.
I promise you. And that has nothing to do with the frames or anything like that. It's just what humans has, right? That's what's like human being. You see somebody neutral jumping despite not jumping towards you. You get the feeling that shit, this dude might jump at me. You understand? Like, okay, but so now you're more prepared and ready. So you can actually control your opponent in that sense. Mind you, there's like hundreds of those scenarios that happens. There's hundreds of those voodoo magic shit.
Yeah, so you're like planting a seed, and then it's like you water it, and then all of a sudden, okay, that's pretty good. Wow, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
That shit's crazy. I'm telling you, the voodoo magic.
I have 2 lessons I could think of. So it's my very first lesson I ever had about fighting games, which is like this is what shattered the ground for me. Was do you remember what you used to think about fighting games before you played fighting games? Because I can tell you what I used to think. I used to think that the person that did the flashy combos and shit was the better player.
I never think that.
Okay, I used to before I played fighting games. I never knew that. Okay,
I never think that.
Yeah, but you have like a strategic background with Warcraft and all sorts of shit like that, right? Yeah. So you were exposed to that. I wasn't exposed to anything like that.
Reward. Yes.
Right. So I had a friend, and out of our friend group, he was like the talented one, right? He would like every time he'd pick something up, he'd like just fucking figure out how to do things really fast, right? It could be anything. It didn't matter if it was a sport. It did not matter. He was just mechanically gifted, hand-eye coordination, whatever. He would just be really good at that shit.
Execution.
Yeah, basically. So one day we're at his house, and he's playing Soul Calibur, and I'm like, yo. I don't want to play this shit. You guys got like Street Fighter or Tekken or some shit? And he goes, well, yeah, Nathan has it. So we hit up Nathan. This is how I got into fighting games, by the way. Nathan, he's like, oh, yeah, I got it. I was like, yo, can we borrow? He's like, yeah, sure, I'll walk over. He walks 40 minutes to give us the game, right? Walks, gives it to us, and he just turns around and walks back home. I was like, what the fuck? This is like some Oracle shit looking back at it. Now I'm like, what the hell? This is mad weird. Like, you're not going to chill with us? No, I'm going to just go back. All right, Ryu. Cool. Okay. So he just walks back another 40 minutes, bro. So me and my friend Marcus, right? We're playing. We're just trying out stuff. He's playing Chun. I'm playing Ryu, and he's like figuring out how to do supers and all this shit. I'm like, damn, I can't even throw a fireball, bro. Like, I'm just trying. I can't do shit. And then he's like, all right, yo, you doing to play? I was like, oh god, bro. I was like, all right, let's go. So we leave training mode, we go to play, and we're playing, right? And I'm fucking him up, like, really bad. Yeah. And I was like, beating the shit out of him, right?
Yeah.
So bad that he's like, oh, yeah, I don't want to play anymore. He just, like, goes downstairs to watch TV. But I'm, like, super, like, enamored, like, wait, but he was doing all the fancy stuff. How did I win? That didn't make any sense.
That's an easy explanation, though.
Yeah, of course, there's in hindsight, but I didn't understand that.
Yes. No, but if you look at, like, let's say in boxing, right, or like MMA, for instance, this dude was doing fucking spinning roundhouse kicks all over the place. Like, he can do that shit in the mats, whatever the fuck, right? Can do, like, fucking some leg lock by, like, fucking sliding full screen against you. But then you just have good jabs, good 1-2 combo.
Right, simple.
Right? That's it. Dead already, the other dude. Because that dude has no fundamentals or that doesn't have enough of the many things that you would use compared to he has more things that you rarely use. So that's for sure he's going to lose versus you. For sure. Guaranteed. So you need to have many things that you can use, right? Compared to, like, okay, I have the most optimal nonsense combo that would fucking take you to the corner and do fucking 60%, right? Yeah. Okay. But then you for some reason you have a combo that you just do 40%, but you can somehow land it consistently. It doesn't have to be in the most optimal starter, like a full jump in, right? But you're getting it off a whiff punish, for instance, right? So that's like your net return on that one is a lot higher. So for sure you will win. That's when they told me like because like imagine I looked up to Justin Wong or like Ricky or John Choi. None of them has anything super optimal combos. None of them.
Right.
They're not known for super optimal, right? They're known for just hitting you more and getting hit less. If that happens, and then how many people do you see that destroy who has all the optimal shit but rarely can get a hit? Because that's more important. Yes.
Right.
So that like in a young age, I learned that, or I kind of got exposed to that. Like that's how it is in general. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And then the second thing was like once I started to like understand how deep the rabbit hole could go was when like one of my mentors, Kaizen Master, you guys, some people probably know of him, but he's from my area and we would like chat on Facebook and he would like show me videos and concepts and stuff like that, and like he would relate things to the game in ways that would like make sense to me, and in order to convey like certain abstract concepts. And one of the things he taught me about was uploading. So he was like, you hear people talk about downloading, and he's like, but there's also the opposite, which is uploading. And I was like, what is that? He's like, yeah, it's when you give them information that makes them behave a certain way, and then you punish them instead of waiting, which is the download part, right? Downloading, you get what they do, you punish it, right? And rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah,
he's like, you upload. Yeah, he's like, you upload people. And I was like, oh, fuck, that is a super dope way to look at it. So ever since then, remember how we talked about languages? You want to learn words if you want to speak. My vocabulary has been ways of uploading people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like really like sharp at like figuring out how to make people behave in certain ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good way to put it, because that's like the similar as like planting seeds, you know,
Yeah.
setting up some traps in the future, right? But that's, I guess you could call that upload, you know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So when you said that earlier, that's what I thought of. I was like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite fucking things, you know. But yeah, those are like the two. I don't really have a third, but those are the ones that like stick out to me like immediately.
There's so many things. There's so many things to talk about when it comes to like lessons that I've learned. You know, like even like, okay, this is like really useful too. It's like paying attention to your opponent's first decision, like that he will go to in the first like 7 seconds. Okay, the first 7 seconds of a round. What does your opponent like to do? Okay, and then what does your opponent like to do like when like end of rounds as well? Right. And usually there's a lot of correlation. For instance, like if in the first 7 seconds of a round, let's just say everything was passive, whatever, but then for some reason the round was a lot slower paced, but then this dude was getting away with like a drive rush overhead, somehow clipping you nonstop, right? So now later on round 3, if it's a clutch time moment and then nobody is scoring a hit, that person is most likely to go for a drive rush overhead as well, because he has not forgotten that, you know, that because it's been a while already, because it's been around 3 already since that point happened, and he felt that subconsciously that dude is still feeling that this is gonna hit again. But imagine if you actually remember that point, that this is the entry point that this dude hit me with, and now you're so ready for that and you fuck him up for it. It's pretty cool, because now you get an edge in that sense, because from his perspective, he thinks that that's a way for him to get a hit again. But from your perspective, like, brother, this is not gonna slide. I don't give a fuck if that happened like 3 games ago. I'm waiting on this fucker. I'm checking you, you know? Yeah. So it's kind of like that, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like really good. Just like amazing things about fighting games. Why it's super awesome. Because there's so many mistakes and blunders that's happening, both sides. But it's so beautiful because it's like both players trying to play as close to perfect as they can get, but you know. But it's like the interactions, you know, like it's just super, super sick. I love it. The interactions for each other is just super awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I do have a third. So my third lesson, like my most important, was definitely when I learned to look at meter like money, where you actually are going to think about how you
meter
invest.
Management?
Yes, you actually consider how you invest your money, right? If you want to get a return on your investment, you have to be considerate of how you go about.
What game? What game was this?
I learned that in 4.
In 4, that's huge.
Yeah. I learned that in 4, but I didn't get good at it until 5, because I had to.
Huge.
Yeah, I had to get good at it. And then when 6 came out, I was already super comfortable with it, because I've been doing it for fucking 10 years, you know.
Yes. But in 6, it's not that detrimental, I feel. Like, because it's so you get full meter already from the gate.
Right. It's like a reverse version of it. Yeah, it's, you know, it is weird. It is like a different muscle, right? It's like you've been working on your quads, but now you have to work on your hamstrings, because it's the same like area of your body, but it's different, you know? That's what it is. That's what it is like. So learning that, I read like, it was cool because I learned about money because of it. So I went and read like business books, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't really understand like money like that. I was young and dumb, right? So I was like, okay, so then read business books and understanding like how you want to go about investing, and you know, like and doing your due diligence and shit like that. So I was like, oh, so you'd want to scout your opponent like you'd scout a company that you're going to invest in, right? So I want to make sure if I invest my meter here, it makes sense, because of the way we're interacting. I'm more likely than not going to get something out of it, you know, instead of just mindlessly spending my bar and then I'm just losing that. So that helped me tremendously. So
that's nice. Yeah. That's a good way to actually pick up things in that sense. Yeah.
So very interesting. Okay. So before we move on, I have 2 really cool I guess pivot points. What are your 3 favorite tournaments of all time? Top 3.
Not counting Evo, right?
Not counting. I think Evo's too free to.
Yeah, too free. So I like Combo Breaker for sure. It's really awesome. I like the SCR before. Remember? I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you watched those streams.
I went to 2 of them.
Yeah, which did you go to the SCR in?
I went to Irvine, the one in
University
2014.
Okay, you went to 2014. You know how amazing that was, right? That tournament, the 2014.
Which one? I'm mixing it up with NCR. NCR was the one Momochi, because I went to both the same year. Momochi won NCR.
Yeah, not NCR. SCR, the one in SoCal.
Who won SCR 2014?
I think PR Barog, but then he fought, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
like
WoW
where,
was there. WoW was there, and he lost to K-Bread,
yeah,
right?
yeah, WoW was there as well. Yeah, no, that shit was
That
crazy.
shit was
Infiltration
fucking
lost to K-Bread
sick.
too. Yeah, for sure. That shit was crazy.
Shit was
Yeah, that tournament was amazing. Yeah, so I like that one. That shit was just like, mind you, there's like exhibitions for Marvel, there's exhibitions for Street Fighter, like, and then there's like, there's money matches with Justin Wong fighting Chaos as well, and then there's like, there's like all the tournaments are going on all over the place, and it was just super nice. So I like that one a lot. And then I like that. I like Combo Breaker. I like SCR. I think, let me see, which one would be nice? I think international. I like UFA. It's up there. The one in France is super nice.
I haven't been there
as well.
yet. Damn.
That's a nice one.
Nice.
Or Rebel Kumite is nice, but I don't count that because that's like a exhibition, not necessarily an open open to all. Yeah. But yeah, there's like, as far as like tournaments, like those things are just amazing. Yeah. I've been to so many of them, but so it's hard to kind of pinpoint, but man, the Combo Breaker experience was super awesome for sure. Yeah. It's up there.
My top 3 is Combo Breaker, CEO.
Yeah.
And then this is a recent one actually, is I guess what was Southeast Asia Major was the Singapore one I went to. Was that run by the same people?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the same. It's
okay,
Southeast Asia.
That shit was incredible, nice. Bro. Oh my god, bro. I was so sad you didn't go, by the way. I was hoping to meet you there, but that shit was so sick.
Did you go when you went there? What did you expect? Did you expect like which one did you like? Did you like the fact that everybody is very friendly? Did you like the fact that the competition in Asia is just insane? Which one did you like?
I loved the fucking setups, bro. Every PC setup was buttery smooth. The fucking room was well ventilated because it was a big conference or a convention that was happening at the same time, I guess. It was like Asia's version of E3 or something like that. And yeah, the people are hospitable. Singapore is beautiful. It's clean. Bro, I was walking around at 4 a.m. by myself. Nobody's bothering me. I'm just chilling. It's top 5 safest countries in the world. So it's like, yeah.
But Asia's is better, bro. I'm telling you, Asia's is better in like a lot of, with most areas. I swear, it's just better. I swear, it's just better.
Like, that shit was so good,
I honestly think it's just better in every way. Yeah, like sure I'm American, but like I'm talking like as like traveling to Asia. Fuck man, it's just better.
So I say Combo Breaker, and CEO because
it's okay, Vinny. Thank you.
So CEO kind of has a special place in my heart because that was the first tournament I ever flew to.
I actually saw you there in the airport. You were talking to, you say hi to Ricky and me in that one, and you were there.
What year was that?
In the airport. I think that was 2012
was the first one I went to.
15, I think, or 14. One of those.
Yeah, I went to all 4 of them after that because I didn't want to miss that tournament.
At the airport, you were like, you were really nice. You know?
That shit was awesome. Who would imagine I'd be doing a podcast with you fucking 13 years later?
That's actually it's fucking awesome.
That is so sick. But yeah, I love CEO. I think in terms of presentation, that's like my favorite. Like the wrestling, I don't even care for wrestling, but it just fits the.
I didn't care about the wrestling.
Yeah, the theme just works so well with FGC, man. The hype is insane.
I agree.
The fucking trophy is a fucking wrestling belt. Like
it was
awesome, so ahead of its time, man. And then afterwards, remember the pool parties they'd have afterwards? We'd all just congregate.
That's why it's the best, brother.
Bro, that shit was so good.
People don't even know about the. Okay, you know what's okay? You weren't there in those rooms when it's like the money matches were happening. About like different money matches were just happening nonstop, like in those rooms up there. It was like those were the days that were super fun. It was just the best. And now I don't think that's still like it. I don't think that happens as much as it used to before, because like usually when the internationals are there, like the man from Europe or from Asia, and they all meet up with the Americans, it's all money matches. Nice. Doesn't matter. It's just known. It's just a known thing. It's about to go down. So what time is it gonna go down? What time? It's like 8, 9. It's like, all right, so I'll be there. Which room are we going? It's like that. It could be Marvel, it could be Street Fighter, but it's usually just those 2 games. Okay, and then it gets crazy because now it becomes like, and then you're gonna get some players that I would not necessarily name to get a tilt because they lost a lot already. But mind you, they're extra world class, but they lost a shit ton. So now they're gonna want to run it back. Tilted, And then once you see that, oh, well, this dude is done. He's so
It's your ATM today. He's gonna keep giving you money.
Yeah, at that point when that happens, like anybody that plays that cat is just done. It's free.
Yo, it's just free money, bro.
He just keeps giving you like 20, 30, 50, 20, 30, 50s nonstop. That's just the best.
That's so sick. Yeah, I do miss like salty sweets, man. They do have them, but it's more like at Evo that you see that. You don't really catch it at the other events like that anymore.
I used to. I'm the one. Me and Gutex used to host it before, right? Like for salty sweets, and that's usually like the area where people gonna go money matches. They used to host it, and then I would just invite the pros to come in, and then they come in there, and it's usually bloodbath. But like, so I think if I host one this year at Evo, then it's gonna be popping. If I host one, because like that one we don't stream it. We just, so most of the players that's going in are like more open to do the money matches because there will be no footage about that they lost a shit ton of money, so you kind of like protect them in a sense. But that happens a lot, like a lot of those, and but then if it's on stream, that's sort of like makes the player, I don't want to go because if I fucking lose, people are gonna talk shit. Compared to like if somebody loses in that setting, it's just gonna be a rumor. It's just a word of mouth.
It's
right?
like the boogeyman. This guy lost.
Dude, like Japan lost fucking $8,000 to FChamp's room, bro. It was bad. Like they were just gonna hear that, or like, oh, USA lost to fucking Nemo. They lost like fucking $4,000.
Bro, I got a sick story, bro. There's such
like
a sick story like that. This is why I kind of missed the non-streaming days, because like you said, it was just so organic. We didn't have to wait for fucking people to set up and all this corny shit, right? Yo, Punko and Pepe Day. You remember how they were like playing a lot in the finals at a certain point?
I was there. I was there in the fucking tournament in Canada Cup when the grand finals was them. Okay, I was one of the few Americans that went to the Canada Cup for that one. Like the grand finals with Pepe Day and Punko. Okay, continue with Pepe Day and Punko. They just never stopped money matching each other.
So they wanted to stop. Like these guys, like they just were. I see you on the street. I'm swinging. That's I'm swinging, but I'm playing you on.
It was gambling galore for sure,
all day. So catch this, right? So Pepe Day beats Punko. Oh no, they're talking shit, whatever. And then they go play. They go and play. Yeah, they go play, and. From what I remember, I think they played a first to 5, and Pepe Day was smoking him so bad, right? So bad. And then he goes like, Punko does the shirt thing, right? Fucking King Kong in this bitch. You know what Pepe Day does? Takes the money, and he slides it back to him and goes behind him. He goes, stay free, and he walks away.
Oh,
I was
like, see, people don't think Japan be talking shit.
They be talking some shit.
They be talking shit, and that's why what's so crazy. And then when the Americans starts talking shit, all of a sudden we're now the bad guys. Like, but I'm telling you, the motherfuckers be talking mad shit.
Bro, that shit was crazy, man. He gave him his money back after beating his ass, bro, and said, "Stay free."
The best. So this is like the best. Okay, I'm not gonna name who, but if you beat somebody in money match, I'm not confirming if I did this, okay? And you threw away the money after you beat him, right? Let's say I'm sorry. Like, let's say you lost to him, and then you throw away the money. Yeah, pick it up like a fucking stripper. You say that shit's the best, bro. Because like I heard that, bro. That's not me, FY, because I wouldn't do that. But like I'm saying, like that shit was like, oh, that is so unique. He got the last laugh after losing. Pick it up like a fucking stripper. Oh my god,
that is so fucking godlike.
In my heart, I thought that dude won. Okay, I don't care what happened. It was 5-2, don't matter. That dude won in my heart. That shit was a very good exit. Because that dude legit had to go down on his knees and pick it up. He's a stripper!
Like a
He's a stripper for real! Yeah. Like,
what the
crazy.
Fuck? Nah, that's so crazy. That's crazy. That is next level shit talk.
That was crazy. And then like Punko is a super gambler, so like he would always money match people, right? Money match, money match, and then he would like he's not satisfied just money matching people with like a really good odds, because like you're money matching people, you have like 90% win rate for sure, right? You know, like across the field, right? And then that's like really good odds for you. This fucker for some reason keeps going down and fucking playing some roulette. So this happened where this dude somehow lost all his money, did not have money for anything anymore. Because he lost in black. I don't know exactly what game he was playing, blackjack or I do not know. But during this time, it was like me, Smug, and Punko. During this time, I think in Canada Cup, because the venue was in a casino, the lap she hosted. It was really, really nice. And he lost like a lot of money to the blackjack or roulette, something like that. We had to give this guy some money.
He
can just go eat his shit. Like, but he was cooking people, but then he got cooked by the fucking roulette, and he keeps coming back there. He think he could just do some SPD there, you know, some OD SPD from Seth, right? And he can get his money back. It's just not gonna work. You're not gonna beat that shit, bro. That dude got an option select, you know. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I fucking love that,
bro. That is.
I fucking love that. Like that shit talking was crazy. You know, like who talks shit too is like Mago, Taquito, Eta.
Oh, Eta, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
Those cats. Daigo doesn't talk shit though, but he makes you feel like he makes you feel like he talking shit, but it's not necessarily saying anything, but you just feel he talking shit.
Like through the screen, like, through the screen, right?
Yeah. You just hate it. It's like, oh, you bitch. Like you could just feel it, and then like he's gonna do some nasty things, or like he would just make disrespect you. Like if he knows you're gonna crouch tech, he will ultra your crouch tech with a delay ultra. He will do like, let's say a jab, delay ultra in front of your face because you're gonna crouch tech like that when he's winning already, just to make you feel like shit. Like kind of like that. Like it's like, oh god. Like it's kind of like a fuck you, but not necessarily saying that, you know. Right. But you would feel that if you play fighting games at that level, you would feel what he was doing. You know, it was so disrespectful. You know. That's
so sick. That's so dope.
Yeah,
bruh.
It's fucking awesome. Man. I love that. I love that shit, dude.
I love it, man.
Yeah, that's like, I don't think that's gonna happen again because of the streaming era and the cell phones, right? Because like most people that's gonna lose thousands of dollars to those situations. Because like that's the day. Those are the days that I look forward to. Like I would be like, well, I'm not gonna sleep tonight because I'm about to money match all these bumps, and then we just have hella cash in that one. Because mind you, I'm hosting the Salty Suites. So I have my own setup. So it's like a never-ending fucking gameplay. You know, a bunch of 20s and 30s and 50s, 100s, 50s, 100s, nonstop, right? You just keep playing everybody, you know? Any game, Marvel, Street Fighter, don't matter. You just play.
Damn, you just like, swapping you're gonna have back and forth? You just swapping?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You just keep playing. I remember there's we cannot... Well, you guys seen a few videos of this, but my favorite guy was Wolf Chrome. Because that dude just kept losing to me in Street Fighter. Right. In any Street Fighter, doesn't matter.
That matchup was fucking horrible for Dawson.
He's my bitch, so it don't matter. But you see the videos, brother. Like, I killed him in Street Fighter 4. After that one, you're my bitch, okay? I want you to remember that, okay? Your last name is Ramirez, okay? You're my bitch, so I talk shit like that to him. So that's how bad I talk shit to him. Dude, this motherfucker did not leave my room, bro. Mind you, he just kept losing. Mind you, but like he's that dude that I get to see every tournament. Let's run it. If I just say let's run it, he knows what's up. So we're gonna find a corner. We're gonna go play. We're gonna play 200, 300, 400, 500. Like the ones like there's like a few that's already taped out there, which is the ones like I played him in Street Fighter 5. We played the final round. It's out there, and then it was like I think it's about 500, and it was so crazy. I was up 9-3. First to 10, something like that. I said, if you quit, half off, right? Something like that. Or like, if you quit, I think you only have to pay.
You are a fucking asshole, bro.
I said, if you quit, I think you only have to pay 400. If you quit, okay? I just want him to quit. That because you already took his soul. First of all, he had to. He admitted it in front of everybody there, because there's a lot of people who was streamed that he quit. Okay, you didn't take the L. You know, right? You didn't take the L.
He took the $100 less.
No. He said about half. I'll do it. I said per half. Fuck that. But the fact that he was actually his dignity is worth $250, it's fucking weird because I'm not gonna take that. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna take the L.
Nope.
Yeah, that shit was so crazy. That shit was
no.
yeah, that's my favorite. And then like we're gonna randomly run each other online, like at CFN, whatever, in Street Fighter 5. I'm gonna like let's say this happens all the time. So like for some reason I keep getting matched with Wolfgrown. He used to play Laura, right?
Yeah, he did.
I even cooked his ass on Evo too, by the way. But like I would say I'm not like purposely losing, but I'm not gonna play as hard playing online against him. And then now he's gonna get confidence to beat that he beat me. Okay, he beat my Nash or beat my Dawson, whatever. And then now in the venue, in the next tournament, which is like the following week later, let's run it. He's more confident. He's gonna do 300. Okay, and then I cook his ass again. But I don't think there's one person that I have beaten consistently for the last fucking 10 years in money matches more than I beat Wolfgrown.
Wow.
Like that dude has supported me throughout my fighting game career. That dude has been a true sponsor. Wolfgrown, brother, oh boy. It doesn't matter what game, like, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you. If you play checkers, that dude's free. Like it's weird, but like I know he's elite, right? I know he's elite, but it's just one of those. There's just like he has a mental block. Mind you, it was Dawson versus Viper. You know how fucking difficult that is.
That matchup was so ass.
Actually, was so bad, right? It's so bad. It was so bad. This is like him winning fucking final round with Viper too in 2012. He won that right in Street Fighter, right? He's still free. It don't matter. Like mind you, because I realized that he doesn't like blocking.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, so he doesn't know what block is. So every time I knock him down, we're gonna do something cute,
Yeah, he's gonna you can like, OS the burn kick that you know is coming, or the fucking.
With also I do OS slide. I would do like back roundhouse slide meaty. So if he does fucking OD Seismo, EX Seismo, it will hit you in the meaty frame, and I will still get a counter hit, meaty hit, and I'll get a combo. If he does a fucking burn kick. On wake up, he gets hit by a back roundhouse meaty by Dawson. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the best. So like it's only for him. Like, but you know what I mean? It was like so good. Mind you, if I fight Latif's Viper, brother, oh my god, it was like a totally different person I'm fucking playing. It's just rough. If it's Latif,
Yeah.
But mind you, both of them were insane, right? Both of them are world class. They're the two best C Viper players in the world of all time, to be honest, right? But for some reason, the other guy is mad free. The other guy is just fucking a monster, Latif, right? Bro. That's just crazy. Yeah. I've seen so many money matches, bro. I've seen like Pierre Barg versus Mago play nonstop the whole day. Money matches, And mind you, like that's in their culture, you're not supposed to be money matching, right? I guess if you're going to Japan, but if they go to USA, it's like fucking never ending money matches. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
Love it.
That's pretty sick.
Love it.
I miss those days, man. Like money matches seem like they're just not a thing now. I don't know. It's because if there's not as much like genuine.
It still happens. It's just you just don't know about it. It still happens though, but it's supposed to be private. It's not supposed to be like out there, Yeah. Because and I was in Asia, I was doing them. So it was pretty fun.
I used to walk up. I remember it was Canada Cup. What's the one Canada Cup Shanghai one? Was it 2013 or 2012?
2013. Yeah, 13 when he beat Bonchan with Cammy versus Sagat. Yeah,
I went to that, and I remember walking up to Justin. I was like, "Hey, Justin, I want to learn from you, so let's money match." That's how I would money match. Yeah, that's how I'd learn. I'd literally bring extra cash, bro, and lose to you guys, and I would just get the feedback.
Okay, that was part of the normal. That's how you get better.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a lot at this. I was like $20. I'd be like,
yeah, $20. Yeah.
Like, hey, can we do a first?
That's kind of like how you play the player. Yeah. For instance, like, I want to play Daigo. I'm a Daigo first to 3 for 20, and then he will just take your 20.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like if he beats you. Then you give the 20. No, the 20 you put it already on the side of the table because you already know it's a foregone conclusion.
It's an investment.
It was that crazy.
Yeah, it was an investment. I was like, okay, I know Justin's about to destroy me. I don't give a fuck. I was like, there's a $20 investment. So yeah, I would literally just have extra cash specifically as like a learning tool. Just go to people. Hey,
no,
Ricky,
no, for sure. That's
awesome.
Match?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was just literally that's how I was going about it. So,
oh my god, it was so crazy because Daigo is so okay. It's like like every tournament you go to, there's a dedicated money match station. Dedicated, right? There's a dedicated. You know what I mean? You remember that, right? Like every tournament you go to, there's like in the casual area, there's like a money match area there, like that's going on the whole time. Okay, like it's not the TO did not set it to be a money match station, but the casual stations will have a couple setups there with a random $20 on top of the table, right? That's already common sense. Okay, if you're not trying to play for money, you're not gonna be in line in that one. You're only sitting there if you're playing for money, for 20s or 30s or 50s. Daigo, for some reason, like that dude doesn't get up. He's just always there the whole time. Mind you, if you beat Daigo, he gives you the 20. He doesn't get up. He just keeps playing the next guy. I'm like, shouldn't he be getting up? And then, no, he doesn't get up. Win, lose, doesn't matter. He's just collecting.
He knows.
Yeah. It's fucking insane. He's like, bro, fucking Daigo is the sickest, because this dude was really like, mind you, he just keeps playing because his win rate is like 99%. He's just cooking everybody.
I'm gonna get that 20 back next.
It was just insane, though. But Daigo is just so good. Like, so good. He just kept playing people nonstop, $20 in that one, And I learned from that too. It's like, damn, I need my own station. I need to get good enough so I have my own station. Like, so how do I need to get my own station, because that's like basically for the whole day, for then like maybe 6 hours you playing money matches. You're easily gonna make like $700-800 for sure. Easy.
Fuck,
like going to majors after all the money matches that you would do with all the people that's there, because you're gonna play everybody, right? Damn near. You're gonna play. You easily make like $2-3 grand for sure. Easy. That's like once you get good, that you making that. Worst week you would do is probably make like maybe 1,000. That's like the worst.
Wow.
In money matches for sure. Because the money matches gets crazier. So like the more somebody's losing and the more you're up already, and then now you go to the next day, let's say a Saturday. Saturday's the best one because everybody's salty that didn't make the top 8, right? That's when people are a little bit more ham. That's when the bets are like 50s or 50s, 80s, 100s, 200s. That's when it gets crazy, And then that's when they're side bets of their boys. It's like, no, I like my boy versus you though. Okay, but you have to give up 2 games, first to 5. Like, sure. Okay, kind of like that. There's many of those. There's many stipulations. There's teams now. There's like, you can't play this character, this and that, Or like, oh yeah, we're gonna fight Daigo, but Daigo is okay. But you have to play Seth, or kind of like that. Or Daigo cannot play this. There's gonna be many stipulations. It's like never ending. Whatever you could think of. It's like, that's like the actual fighting game community that I know of. Like, that's like you basically, you lose, you pay. It's kind of like, it feels like an arcade, you lose, you lose a quarter, but now you lose a 20 or 50. So people are playing super hard, because it's not just like, you don't just get to click rematch.
Right.
So people playing a lot of heart, in their games, right? So it's actually pretty cool. I did wish though it was recorded. I did wish some of them are still on YouTube, but I wish that everything was actually streamed in a way, at least for just for history purposes, so that we could see that, bro. Do you see this money match, bro? Fucking Eita versus Punko was playing, and they were like, Punko was so mad because he lost that 150 and he smashed the stick because fucking Akuma's neutral jump fireball was fucking crazy. Yeah, bro, we've seen all that. Reinhardt was playing against, it was a Salty Sweet. Reinhardt was playing against Hawaii, right? Dagger G during this time, and all these guys. Reinhardt playing Sagat, Ryu, whatever. He picked Dawson to counterpick Guile. I was like, he picked Dawson and he cooked him. And mind you, if you come in there, play. Like, there's no like, no, I'm just here to watch. None of that exists there. You're next, you're standing there. You come on, get in, play. Yeah. You're supposed to play, kind of like that. If you decide to coach a Salty Sweet, there's no like, oh no, I'm a bitch, I'm a little pussy, I'm not gonna, I'm just here to watch. And there's no such thing as that.
Yeah.
You're gonna play, so the money in circulation was just crazy. Actually, it was crazy, bro. Yeah. People did not bother about like all these other drama in the social media, none of that. Mind you, people didn't talk shit after somebody beat somebody lose to somebody. Nobody talked shit about that, You just keep it there because that's out of respect to somebody who just lost a shit ton.
Like Fight Club, yeah, legit. That's so sick.
That shit is so awesome about fighting games we did during that time,
Damn.
Like, I mean, this one is like known already, but this time was like in Street Fighter 5. This is the most this is like when Punk in NCR lost to Problem X. I believe it was like $7,000 or $4,000 to $7,000, something like that. Okay, to Problem X. It's just them two. Okay, it's because Punk's the best player in the world during the time, but then Abigail was so broken. It's a prime Abigail. and Problem X was not like trying to do anything shady to him. He's like, bro, this character is super broken. There's just no way. Doesn't matter how much better this player is, you're not gonna beat Abigail. Punk is super competitive. He's a champion. That's why he kept going. I don't know who's betting all that money, and not just him, or maybe some other of his friends, but there was that much money exchanged during that time.
Wow.
Like I don't know the exact number, but it's around 4,000 to 7,000. So just to be fair, for sure. That's it, crazy. Think about that. Like that's just happening in the back. That's how much the exchanges were. Mind you, to win that CPT tournament was like 5,000 or something,
right,
plus the pop bonus or something, right? But the money matches that was being exchanged there in the back is significantly way more. It's like, brother, you can fuck about this.
This is the real reason we came.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Bruh. Holy shit.
That's what's crazy about the fighting games, bro. Doing that, bro, they was like crazy because if you whack as fuck, it hurts. If you whack, it hurts. Like because you not only you lost the money of your friends who believed in you, you also lose the money from your own pocket. And then you lost the game. Then you think about the games like, fuck, I can't believe it.
And then you go you go into your pocket to go get money to eat, and you're like, I can't even eat. I'm broke. Right.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like that. It was just so crazy. And then, mind you, you know the etiquette of like if you lose to the person, and then you can get a run back whenever you want. Because you got to give me a chance to get my money back. You know, that etiquette, it's there. It's consistent in fighting games. It's consistent. Okay, like so if somebody lose, he gets an immediate run back if he wants to. He has the right to do that, okay? And for some reason, nobody had to talk about that. That's just, like, we all just know that. We don't have to say that, yo, he refused the run back. What the fuck? We don't have to do that. It's like, that's known. Unless the set was so grueling, so long already, then like, yeah, I can run it back, but can I take a break? Sure. Yeah, kind of like that, you know? But that's the beauty about that community that we had there. All the pros, bro, that shit was crazy. And then the Lapchi fucking drinking money.
Crazy, brother. Oh my goodness, bro. Remember the Mago was he singing? I think that was a 2013 one. Or 2014?
I almost died with the fucking Lapchi money match with the fucking drinking, bro. He fucking killed me. We did like, okay, first of all, it was like this. I said, like, I'm not really a drinker, but okay, I'm gonna compete and participate. Because, like, Lapchi, I could kill. It doesn't matter. So, like, Lapchi, I did not know Ep.3 was the triple Evo Champ champion. The Evo Champ drinking champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's broken.
So he fucking destroyed me with some fucking tricks. Like, mind you, I couldn't see things anymore. Mind you, it's like this. Win, lose, or draw, you drink a shot of vodka or tequila every round. Or draw? Yes, bro. It's not just when you win or you lose, brother. If you're just winning, like, you know, like win, lose, or draw. So you're going to be 14 shots in. 14 shots. 14 shots in. You're going to beat Ep.3, bro. Good luck with that, bro. And this dude is playing Blanca. The Blanca balls are all unblockable. Like, no more reactions.
Nah, you see like Blanca ball like Morrigan. At that point, it's like a bunch on the screen. That's crazy.
There's even a video. Okay, he bodied the fuck out of Fudo. He beat Fudo. He beat me. He beat a bunch of champions, by the way, back to back throughout the days. Okay, mind you, the only person that fucking beat Ep.3, bro, is PR Barrog. Nobody fucking with PR Barrog with alcohol and fucking Street Fighter, brother. That Puerto Rican blood, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was about to say it's the Boricua.
PR Barrog was the best, bro. Nobody beating with Edward, bro. You say like alcohol. Ep.3 beat Fudo, yes.
Damn.
He beat everybody, bro. Imagine Fudo is gonna drink a shot of tequila or vodka. It could every game or every round. It depends on the size, whatever the fuck what's agreed upon. If you lose to Ep.3, you just lose and you're just fucking drunk and he's happy as fuck that he made, you know, an example of you. If you win, he gives you $1,000. Instead of $1,000 free roll, first to 10. But that 10 games, that means minimum you're taking 10 shots in, right? Minimum. Money is like a 10-8, brother. You're getting ready before you even get to the fucking 10.
Oh my goodness, man. Nah, that is actually fucking genius. That makes a lot of sense now. I didn't know that.
Challenge there. Yeah, there's nothing you can fuck with that one, bro. That shit was so mad. Ep.3 is one of the best, bro. Like, I love Ep.3, bro. Like, the Canada Cup was so awesome because of him. It's like, that is so insane. Imagine trying to win. Imagine the shots are like just this small shots too. But the fact that you're doing that every game, win, lose, or draw, it's like, bro, how many shots can you really take though? Really, realistically, on average, right? Like you're probably taking like 8 or 9, right? That's like 9 wins, right? You're basically like, mind you're drinking that shit every 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And what if the rounds are like longer rounds? Now you're like, your space recognition is all out the window. You're dead.
You got stoned in real life, bro.
You're so dead already. Like, yeah. So those are the fun ones we used to do.
Oh
you know, those are the fun ones.
Yo, that sounds like, so sick.
Oh my god, the money matches, the drinking match. It's like, bro, even after like Northwest Majors, we will go to the bar, which is like the after party with all the Street Fighter setups or their Marvel setups. But then it's not necessarily like an after party where like you're just there to play some games. It's like really just the code word that there will be some money matches involving alcohol. Like that, you know? So there will be match. Like I believe like he played against Nemo too. Like Nemo, you know, because that's a popular one. Lapchi versus you with first to 10, and every game you drink. You know? I think he's only lost to Pierre Barrock, to be honest.
Wow.
And mind you, Lapchi also beat Pierre Barrock, mind you. It's not like he was undefeated. He's also beaten Eduardo.
Wow.
But the fact that Eduardo is the only one that's beaten Lapchi is insane.
Holy shit. So, so question, does Lapchi drink when he does this or no?
He drinks.
He's doing it also?
He's drinking it with you, brother.
And he's doing more than one set a night?
I mean, he can do 2, but I'm talking like the day after day after day, right? Because it's like usually a 3-day event, right? You know?
That's still a lot, bro.
Like that's what I'm telling you, brother. That's what I'm telling you. He's the GOAT. That's what I'm saying. This is some other shit. Like you actually can see some footages there on YouTube. You can see that.
He
fucking almost killed me.
Insane, bro.
Yeah, that shit was insane. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Next, let's get on into the book of the week, guys. Champ, you love your chess. I have a good chess book. It's one of my favorite chess books. How to Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman. He's an international master. This book is dope as fuck. If you are trying to understand chess in a really fun way with super cool like analogies, it's really abstract shit that he talks about. Love this book. He has amazing examples, cool chess puzzles, analogies, all sorts of stuff like that. Really, really strong book for helping people get better at chess. Highly recommend it. Check it out, guys. My book of the week. Boom. All right. Now, let's get into the podcast questions, Mr. Champ. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? We got a whole bunch of stuff. So let's pick 3. Any 3 that you like. Ooh, I like this question a lot from Lucky. Lucky Lux. He says, how do you as a coach know that someone is a good choice for coaching and that they are teachable?
Okay, let's say this person has no personality issues. To say like he's not like drinking anything like that. He's just got standard, right? I truly believe that everybody can be good. Okay, it's just a matter of every person has a different way of accepting an information. Okay, some people are very good at like learning or accepting information or receiving information through like visuals to videos or to numbers to frame data or audio. It could be like I would show you, right? You know, I would demonstrate to demonstration or to a match, fill out a match, or like highlighting a replay, for instance, right? Let's say, for instance, like every player has a way on how they receive information, okay, and also how they like the message, you know, for them to receive, for instance, right? Everybody. So now, as a coach, your job there is to kind of like package the message in a way that you feel is the most efficient way for that person to receive that information. Because like out of coaching so many players, like there's no way that like it's impossible that this person would not improve. Like it's just hard for me to imagine that, because fighting games it's pretty straightforward, right? It's like if you actually see why somebody's losing, it's pretty easy why they're losing. At least from my perspective, if I see it, like, okay, you're losing because of these things, and we need to do this, we need to do that, okay, kind of like that. Like so it's pretty straightforward for to determine that. The challenge in fighting games would be how much patience this guy has before he quits fighting games because of the frustration of the first mountain that he needs to kind of get over. Is the first mountain is the hardest one. Yeah. So if you get over the first mountain, the second, third, fourth, fifth mountain is the easiest one already because you did the first mountain, you know? Essentially, like that MR mountain that I showed where like people are stuck in the 14 to 16, 20 range MR, but then the moment somebody is like over 16 something already, the moment they're over that, and like sure they can still fluctuate to 15 or like whatever the fuck, right? The moment they're over that part, like the other parts that you need, even regardless if you play a lot, it's like super specific now. You know, you need to have better spacing, better decision making, risk management, right? Your mental snack management needs to be good, right? Your decision making at the end when you close out games, your opening, your template, your tempo, your pacing, how you balance your choices, are you cycling your defense, your offense, you know, all this stuff, right? You know, how's your ground game? You like all this stuff, the meta you have for all of this, you know. So once you do that, the rest is kind of straightforward. So that's why it's kind of hard to imagine that the person would not. So I think everybody can improve for sure. Because like I have coached somebody that's 54 years old, by the way, because he had a project. Yeah, he had a project where he wanted to beat somebody that within his group, right? And this guy was supposed to be younger, apparently. And yeah, of course we cooked that guy. That guy is pretty good, but doesn't matter.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Damn. Oldest I have is like 45.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Age doesn't even matter at that point. If the person actually wants to learn and improve, for sure, this is easy. Yeah, it's not a big deal.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about it. Also, like when the person needs to be in like 100% like form, where like he's not like tired, he's not like
falling asleep
sure
in the middle
what he wants
of lessons.
to do. Yeah, you kind of want him to be there 100%, mentally. Then I will proceed with the lesson. If the person is not 100% there yet, then I would not proceed with the lesson. I don't care. I'll just pause it, until like we're optimal,
Right.
Because like at the end of the day, it's not. I don't really look at the session as my session. I look at that as like I don't care about that if I lost a week with that person. I don't care. I care about if we get the results from that session. That's what matters. Because at the end of the day, did the person improve or learn something? That's what matters to me. I don't care about the sessions. I care about if the person actually improving. Yeah.
For me, as long as the person knows what they want, I'm willing to help. Like as long as at that point, right? Like if you make an investment into coaching, that means you care to some degree, right? So I automatically am like, okay.
Some of them, yes.
But some people it's not enough, right? And then you end up realizing, like I have some students that I've invested in my courses, they still have like 2-3 lessons left, and they just never came back. And it's not like it's because they, I wasn't doing a good job or anything like
about
that.
the quitting part.
Yeah, they just didn't enjoy the game or whatever it is, and it happens. It's, you just got to chalk it up to just next person.
Like it's like, imagine if you think about it, that's like the only area that they need to kind of like suck it up, because that's the hardest part. The first mountain you need to kind of get over.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to tell them early that that's going to be a lot of challenge in that region. Okay, and then once the person is past that area, then it should be easier. Everything should be significantly easier after you're past that.
Word.
But if the person quits before that, then unfortunately it's a waste.
Yeah.
But like, you just need to get past that, and that shit, like, not your understanding of fighting games has gotten so much more better that any fighting game you play from that point on moving forward, or your understanding of your game in general, it's just going to be significantly better. So that's like so important, but like until then you don't get past that first hump, bro. Yeah, that's like the most important thing for sure, the first hump. Gotta
have some resilience. Okay,
for sure. Yeah.
All right,
can't be a little bitch, basically.
True. Okay, let's see. I like this question. You had a long day of coaching and maybe playing Street Fighter. What's a meal that would hit the spot?
I don't know. I don't care. Sometimes I will eat like steak and broccoli. Sometimes I will eat French fries. Sometimes I will eat pasta. It doesn't matter. I don't mind.
What type of French fries?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I will only feel like, oh my god, I need a good meal because I just did a lot of coaching, right? But I do a lot of coaching almost every day. But then the thing is, I like doing what I'm doing. So it's like saying, like, I played so much fighting games. Like, oh my god, I need a good ass meal because I played so much fighting games that I truly love, right? It's not tiring like that, Something I truly enjoy doing. It's like when I play like fighting games that I love playing. After that, it's like, fuck, that shit was great. I need to get better at this area. I missed this. Oh my God, I didn't do the optimal route for this one. I could have applied this. Like, I'm more excited to even play the next time around. It's the same thing as coaching. Okay, you know what? This player, I felt like received this better. So I need to change my lesson plan for this guy moving forward. Kind of like that. So there's more, I'm more excited. So I'm not even like thinking about the food part because like as if like I was tired because of the coaching or the, you know,
Do you
or
eat at
playing,
tournaments?
whatever.
Do you eat at tournaments? Like
I don't.
I had a feeling you did.
Because it makes me slower. Yeah.
I had a
So I
feeling
don't
you
eat,
didn't.
yeah, when I eat tournament. But I would eat before and would eat after a lot, right? But that's because I just need food. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. When is it a good time to drive reversal besides moments like EX headbutt from Lily? What would you choose? When would you choose between EX DP or a drive reversal?
Oh, yeah. So this kind of question. So this question, like this is like, how do I guess right, basically, right? How do I guess right in a sense? So the right answer there would be, it depends, right? That's really, it depends on the situation. Are you up around? Are you going to die from this action? For instance, like if you happen to drive reversal, for example, let's entertain an idea. If you did drive reversal if you drive reversal, and then they happen to block it, whatever, right? You take, with Lily, you would take an SPD punish, right? Okay. But if you did DP, you would lose like a little bit more, right? Than the SPD punish, you know? So now you have to look at it like, okay, if I do a drive reversal and I'm correct, I do this much damage. If I do a DP, I would do X amount of damage, but do I win from each action? So now it all comes down to just cycling your choices because it all depends on the situation, the moment, like which part of the round, how much meter you have. Are you up around, down around? Are you up 1-0 or 1? Do you have a level 3 ready? What's happening, right? So at that point, it's just risk management. So there's no like, you're only supposed to do this, right? You're supposed to cycle your choices, your options, because you can't be predictable at the end of the day. But at the same time, you also need to be aware that your choices needs to make sense in a way where like, okay, I did DP here because if I'm correct after you do that, I win. Okay, but if I'm wrong, I still alive, and you don't have any more Oki because you don't have any more drive meter, and you will burn out after that because you just did that her, and then you block it, and you don't have driver, you don't have another drive rush there. So if I'm correct, I win, right? I win. But if I'm wrong, I still have one more shot to play neutral with you. Okay, but see, imagine if I did drive reversal in that scenario. If I'm right, I wouldn't win. Right? If I'm right, I wouldn't win. Okay, so there's still more can be played. But if I'm wrong, I take an SPD, right? And then now that will recover you more drive rush, and you might be able to drive rush, right? Drive rush. So if you look at it in that sense, there's a better choice for depending on the situation. So yeah,
it's all contextual. This is the time you should always do. It's gonna depend on the character. It's gonna depend on the meter. It's gonna depend on the positioning. It's gonna depend on the round, right? Like. Because a lot of the times when you make a good decision, it's not a decision that means you're going to be right. It's just that if you make it, it's a good balance of like, you're not going to die from it, but you're also going to get rewarded from it.
Yes. It's like, if you do wake up, for instance, like, you know how like clutch moment, round 3, last round. Okay. Both 1-1, for instance, in games, last game. And then you decide, hey, I'm going to do reversal here. After they knock you down, I'm gonna do reversal. Okay, so if you do a reversal, wake up DP in this time, your opponent lives. Okay, but if you're wrong, you die.
Yeah.
And then if you do wake up level 1, your opponent lives. If you're wrong, you die also. Right. So if you're gonna decide to do a reversal, you can only just do level 3. So at least if you're correct, half the time, if ever, you get rewarded with a W, right? So basically, it's the same risk, but you have more reward, right? So just a more simple term in that sense.
That
right?
makes sense.
Right. So at least if you make that choice, like, and then at least do level 3, so at least you win if you're correct. You know, for that exact situation where last game, last round, yada yada. If you decide to do a reversal, you know, then you can now insert a new decision there. Okay, I'm just gonna do parry because if he grabs me, I'm not gonna die. It's just one more interaction, and I wouldn't burn out. But if I'm correct. I could potentially kill him here because I will have double DRC, whatever. I can get 38%, and he's within the threshold of 30+% life, you know? And then now you can start making decisions more advanced in that sense, you know? And you're not going to be correct all the time, but you're going to be correct enough times to offset that, you know?
Yeah. So I got 2 things to say. I guess like kind of pivots, but like another way of using drive reversal is offensively. So when you have somebody cornered and they try to fight their way out, if you identify that they're more of a fighter out of the corner instead of an escape artist, and you could drive reversal offensively, you let them, you know, usually most people do low forward DRC, so you could just purposely sit there, entice them, you block, you drive reversal, they spend 3, you invested 2, you have great damage on top of them, and you maintain positioning. So that's a way you could do that, you know what I'm saying? Or you could block a heavy or a special that you know that you're trying to fight or use as pushback to kind of create that space. You can use the offensive drive reversals there to get your knockdown, your mix, and stuff like that. And then the other thing I wanted to say was it was pertaining to when you make mistakes, right? Yo, bro, I recently learned this, champ, like in the past like 8 months, maybe 8 to 12 months. It's like not all mistakes are bad mistakes. There are certain mistakes that are okay to make, especially in a game like Street Fighter 6. So like a guessing mistake it's okay to guess wrong.
It's not a mistake. Is that coincidence?
Yeah, it could, right. But so we'll call it that, right? We'll call it that. But just to simplify it. So
No, but tell me exactly, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to assume what you're saying.
I just say mistake in a sense of was I correct or was I correct even though I executed, you know what I'm saying, the thing properly.
Which
like,
example?
So like if I go to you know, meaty this person to chip them out and kill them because they're in burnout, they do wake up super.
That's not a wrong decision.
Right, but I'm saying, but if somebody loses, right, you know, you'll have people that are like the backseat quarterbacks. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. So it's very
that's
easy
not a bad decision. Yes.
To consider that as like, it's not. But I used to think it was because
it was not a bad decision.
Because when you as a fighting game player make a decision, right, you are doing it because you think it's right. So I used to think if I was wrong, it's a mistake.
That's not a bad choice.
It's not a bad choice.
It could be a bad choice if, let's say you knock somebody down and he has full meter of everything, and you have 40%, for instance, right? Okay. So by you knocking him down, if you go for a meaty, now you turn the game into a 50-50 when you are favored 1% versus 40%. Then it's a better choice to not go for meaty because you are leveraging that you are favored in that spot instead of going for a mix-up for no reason, and now he does wake up something, and now you die. Okay, when you are favored and he's only 1 picks away, so that's a bad choice. But I'm talking like in general term, when you just the first knockdown or something, and then you guess wrong and you do meaty and this guy supered. Yeah, that's fine. If you're not gonna lose from it, yes, then it wouldn't be right. But there's situations where you have to just go for it, right? There's situations, and that's not a bad choice because you have to go for it. Because at the end of the day, how come you didn't go for a mix-up in this point? Yeah, because he might do super in this one, right? But if it's the situation is tied, then you have to just go for it. That's not a bad choice. That's just like you made a decision that I'm gonna go for offense or I'm gonna go for, you know, like you're okay. See, if by going for shimmy, that's still going for offense because you're gonna get value if he goes for parry, if he goes for tech, if he goes for reversal, right?
Yeah.
So that's still part of offense, right? If you go for shimmy, if you go for meaty, okay, then you will lose to reversals, right? You will lose to reversals and parry. But you will beat the backdash, the mashing, and the holding ups. So it's still a form of offense. So that's okay. And that's if that's the situation you're talking about. Yeah. But if you have to, but you're gonna lose from that, then there's no reason to go for it, right? Like for the most part, not every time, but like most of the time, it's a bad choice. You know? Yeah. But is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. Is like because I used to because of being a perfectionist, I would try to get everything right. And then when I was wrong, I kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater, and I'd be like, "Oh, this doesn't work. Stop doing it," right? Or whatever, because I was trying to be right. But then I realized
you can't be right all the time.
Can't be right all the time. And once I realized that, I was like, "Okay, this makes sense." You know,
fighting games is just like it's a bunch of statistics, right? So basically, how many situations, like, because like you're gonna be 70, 80, 20, right? 70, 30. In many different spots, right? So sometimes, even though you're 70, 30, 80, 20, sometimes those situations, they're gonna hit you. For instance, like imagine if you go for a delay grab on somebody's wake up, right? So if they do reversal, then you block it. If they go for parry, then you can grab them, right? And then if they do mashing, you will block it. If they do anything, if they super, you will block it, right? Delay grab. But you will only lose if they do in mid screen, if they do wake up neutral jump. Right? That's it. So 1 out of 5 chance, if they do wake up neutral jump, it will punish your delay grab. But you're covering 4 out of 5 options, for instance, right? Okay. So is that a bad choice that you did? No, you just you went for an option that will beat 4 out of 5 options. It just happened that this dude made that decision to hold up there, which would lose to 4 out of 5 situations. It's okay. it's okay. You could live with that choice, you know? But it's only bad going for that if you are so predictable that you're only doing that. Right? That's like once it becomes a habit, a favorite thing for you to do, then it becomes bad because that means it's not stats anymore. It's 100% you are doing this. Right. Now I'm just gonna go pick rock every time because I know you're a paper guy every time, right? You're right. So that's when the math goes out the window and it's about feeling and intuition. Yeah,
it's kind of like, imagine if the house in Vegas loses and they were like, yeah, we're never gonna do this again because we lost one time. It's like, wait, what? No, you're favored.
Yeah.
In this, you know, like the game's literally favored for you. So why would you? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, fighting games is sick that way. It's like, imagine if you're gonna be results oriented in general, like where you'd be like, oh my god, it didn't work, so now that's gotta be bad. If that's your mindset in general, you're playing, it's like, it's just so bad because it's not like that's the only game that you're gonna play. You're gonna play multiple games, right, throughout your fighting game career, right? Multiple games. So now the only time you're gonna know if that decision is really bad is like over the course of many games, right? And also once you break down every branch out of each choice, which is pretty straightforward, I think. Yeah. So fighting games is like how many situations where you would feel like you are favored, and how many of those you have fully capitalized off. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So one more question. Let's see. How do you find the fun in a fighting game when improving, even with breaks? Doing something else, playing another game?
I don't know. You
have fun all the time.
It's no fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fun part is figuring out the game, the rules, and the optimizing something, figuring out everything. So everything is fun. So if the person is trying to figure out the fun part of it, that means maybe he's not playing a character that he has a lot of fun with. Because usually if you like a character you're playing, that kind of like takes away the stress of the other part because you actually enjoy playing your characters. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a video game, so you gotta have fun, right? If you're not having fun in the game, then you shouldn't play it because it's a game. You gotta have fun. Right. You want to get good at it for sure, but like I say, you gotta have fun, right? Play what you like and have fun from it. Yeah, but it's hard. It's not hard to find the fun. That should be natural. If you have to ask yourself, well, how do I find fun in this? Maybe like you're talking like how to lab better. Maybe you didn't know how to lab. So how do I find fun in labbing, right? That's not normal because everybody just wants to like get off work, get home, press some buttons. They don't want to go to school, right? Which is like, you know, they don't want to like figure out this frames of this, knockdown of this, key of this. They don't want to do that because that's studying, right? Okay, but some people, they actually enjoy doing that, you know?
Right.
Mostly pros, yeah. So
for me, honestly, I think anybody, like Champ said it perfectly, you got to figure out what you enjoy. For me, I love the psychological aspect of fighting games, so I love coming up with ways of figuring people out or of understanding people, or that's when I have the most fun. You know, some people have fun with coming up with combos, some people can have fun with learning characters. I think you have to return to why you started playing in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a dick measuring contest. You don't have to be the fucking best player in the world to have fun. You know? I think
you just gotta have fun.
Just have fun, man. Usually what happens is you're around so many other people that are striving for that, but they also have their fun component, and then you don't realize that. You're just focusing on the fact that they're trying to be great, and then that's all you start to focus on. That's what I did at one point, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I got back to the shit that I love. Like, I love taking notes. I love the psychology. I love the process. I love information gathering, creating fucking strategies, and I love that part. That part is mad fun to me. Creation, you know,
it's fun.
That's the funnest part for me, and you know,
it's fun.
So I think that's what you have to figure out is something that resonates to you, and that's going to be unique to you. It's like your own language.
Bro, I came up with some new shit, bro. It's fucking insane. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, I got it in the stream.
If I show you later, it's fucking nice.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna segue into saying goodbye to the people, because that is that, guys. We've finished episode 3. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Make sure you follow us on our socials. All right. Much love, guys, and hopefully you enjoy the content. I think this is something that the FGC needs. It's a breath of fresh air. Super authentic. You know, kind of a grassroots feel to it. Stories and perspectives over the years, and I think a lot of people could benefit from it. And just let people know that this is a thing. You know, spread the word. This is in my opinion, I think this is the gold nugget of the FGC right now. People just don't know it yet, but people will soon. So we just got to keep it up, keep maintaining.
For sure, you just got to be consistent.
Yeah, that's it. And then we're gonna take over. It's gonna be insane. So
yes.
All right, everybody, we out. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace.
See you guys later.
Peace.